Joint Chiefs compared to the Russians beating the U.S. into space.
I don't know if it's quite a Sputnik moment, but I think it's very close to that. And it has all of our attention.
It's the most significant public acknowledgement by a senior U.S. official that China conducted 2 tests of a hypersonic missile system this summer. Tests which were first reported by the Financial Times.
We don't know about climate action, but China's moves in another department are real and dangerous. Beijing is in the middle of an unprecedented nuclear buildup. How do we know this? Because of satellite images.
Hundreds of new ICBM silos under construction. A massive buildup which has forced the Pentagon to drastically revise the number of nuclear warheads China is adding to its arsenal.
Richard, I mean, first of all, this is a game changer in terms of these weapons, what they're able to do, and how the U.S. response would change as well. I mean, basically, the general's saying, we're not ready for this.
We're not ready for this. It has the potential of changing the balance of power between the United States and China.
It's an astounding pace.
Have the Chinese ever done anything like that before?
It's far beyond what they have ever done in the past.
Nuclear warheads could also be loaded on hypersonic missiles, which are harder to detect than ICBMs.
China already has the world's largest armed forces, over 2 million strong. But it's a new breed of super-fast missiles designed to evade American nuclear defenses.
Now you understand why this buildup is being called unprecedented. As we speak, there is construction going on underneath this air dome. And this is all happening in Ordos, which is in north-central China. Similar constructions have also been spotted in Yumen, Jilantai, and Hami. What exactly is happening in all of these places? The Federation of American Scientists says it's a top secret and highly sensitive construction program, their words. Reports say these silos are intended for missiles. There are at least 300 such silos under construction in China, 300. All of this is part of the PLA's modernization program. What's interesting is that Beijing has neither confirmed nor denied any of these reports. That such extensive silo construction has not been seen since the Cold War.
But I want to get your take on this threat of forcing Taiwan to boost reserve force training. The country's defense ministry said that it will.
Well, President Xi has made an objective of his regime for reunification, to take control of Taiwan. And believe me, we are still behind. The balance of power in that region, Maria, as you know, has shifted militarily to China. That is a fact that it's undeniable. They also eventually want to be the #1 military globally in the world. That's not the case now, but in the region, it certainly is the case in terms of available forces in that region.
But what the public notices, first of all, is an increase of personality cult. In the recent weeks and months, the state media have exaggerated their praise of Xi Jinping. It became almost absurd. I mean, it's comparable to the rhetoric of most.
His message is that China is a superpower and the rest of the world better know it. The Chinese people will never allow any foreign forces to bully, oppress, or enslave us. Anyone who dares try to do that will have their heads bashed and bloodied against the Great Wall of Steel, forged by over 1.4 billion Chinese people.
All right, Shalom. All right, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call hello Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and Tawada Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. All right, so as you can clearly see in this video, all right, this is going into the China, and and these, of course, involve these other countries as well, but ultimately right now it's talking about China, that they're like one of the top military, all right, the most powerful, pretty much the most powerful nation. They got missiles that can outmaneuver the U.S. missiles. They have more missiles than the U.S. They have more ground soldiers than the U.S. They have more vehicles, all right, so on and everything. All right, so pretty much, this is all leading to a prophecy of the Third World War that we've been prophesying about, for as long as we can remember, from the elders and the apostles, of Great Millstone and on down. Okay, so as you can clearly see, you hear what they were saying. You know that they're not. They that guy he said they're not going to be bullied anymore. You know they're not going to let any foreign enemy, all right, try to bully them or you know pretty much tell them what to do. He said if that happens, then basically what he's saying is you're going to just nuke you. He's just going to blow you up, man. All right, so as you can clearly see, you know Esau Edom, you know these military generals and things of that nature. You know they're all afraid, man. They're like, you know, they're threatening us, and you know what are we gonna do? All right, because they know that they can't beat China, man. You know, what was it? I think this was like 2 years ago. All right, they ran a simulation program of China versus the U.S. and the U.S. lost. You know, they lost. And you know what? And then they did a what else did they do? It's like in my mind, it escaped. It just escaped me, man. You know, maybe it'll come back. But yeah, you get the point. You know, they ran a little simulation, and they they lost, man. They lost to China. Oh yeah, I remember now. Pretty much, they ran a physical fitness test. All right, and they were going up against you know the other nations, so to speak. And the U.S. they received I think it was a C and below average of physical fitness. All right, with you know from the soldiers that they're training, you know, in their boot camp and everything, so to speak, they got a C. You know, which is embarrassing. As you can clearly see, you know, they putting homosexuals in the military. All right, they're allowing them to get in there. They're allowing women. Okay, and they're allowing all these abominations in the military, and it's just weak. They look weak as hell, man. And compared to Russia, you know, you don't see no women in that video in their preview of their military might. Ain't no women in there, man. Okay, only the U.S. is doing that BS, man, and they're gonna lose, man. So let's get some scriptures here to prove that. Okay, let's see. Yeah, let's get Joel chapter 3 and verse 1. All right, it says, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat." Okay, so that's in the Middle East, man. Up in that area, that's where the war is going to kick off. Okay, so all nations is going to gather. They're going to be fighting at that place. So the Lord is going to stir their spirits up, all right, to be out there in the Middle East, man. Okay, and it says, "And will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." You see? So the Lord's basically, this is the Lord's vengeance. Okay? It says, "And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, and that they might drink." It says, "Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head." Okay, and it says, "Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried them into your temples, and my goodly and pleasant things, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem." You see? So it's you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right? That's the reason why the Lord is doing this. You know, because they wicked anyway. You know, and on top of that, you know, they pretty much put us in slavery. All these nations had us in slavery. You know, they've been getting over us and still doing it to this day. You know, still got us in captivity. So it says, "The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their borders." And yeah, that's what happened. You know, we got sold all across America and these other countries as well. All right, it says, "Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head." So that recompense means payback. So the Lord's going to pay them back, man. You know? And it says, "And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabaeans, to a people far off, for the Lord hath spoken it." So yeah, they're going to go into captivity. Like it tells you in Revelations. It says, "He that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword." Here's the patience and faith of the saints, and that's what we're waiting on. So this is gonna happen, man. You know, Esau is gonna go into captivity along with these other nations. They're going into captivity because they had us in captivity. They're gonna get killed with the sword because we've been killed with the sword. You know, they're gonna get double from for what they did to us, man. So that's what's going. All right, so they're gonna get what they're gonna get double from what they did to us. So moving on, it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that's what they're doing, man. You seen China up there. You know, they ain't taking, shit from the U.S. no more, man. You know, they standing up. They threatening the U.S., boldly. Why? Because they're nuclear capable, and they got better weaponry than they do, than the U.S. All right, they're like one of the most powerful nation now. And the U.S. scared, man, because it can't push them around no more. Okay, so that's prophecy right there, man. So it says, "Let the weak say, I am strong," and that's what they're doing, and he's including other nations as well. Other nations. They're gonna coming up against the U.S., man. All their allies is gonna turn on them and blow this place to hell, man. So anyway, it says, let's see. Yeah, verse 11, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. All right, so he's gonna have put a spirit on these other nations, all right, to go be down there in the valley of Jehoshaphat, all right, which is right in the Middle East, and that's where they're gonna fight, man, and that's gonna be their judgment. It says, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. It says, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. All right, so that's where it's going to kick off. All right, the U.S. going to get involved too, and they're going to lose. They're going to utterly lose. All right, reading on, it says, the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. The Lord also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem. And the heavens and the earth shall shake, but the Lord will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. All right, so that's when them nukes hit, man. And in the midst of this war, of this third world war, Yahushua is going to come back with his angels, and they're going to be down there in the valley of Jehoshaphat as well, and also coming here in America, when them nukes and stuff kick off, and during the time of Jacob's trouble. All right, and they're going to deliver the elect. Okay, so let's get Jeremiah. Let's get Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 14. Okay, it says, I have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to the battle. All right, so there it is again. So the Lord is gonna put a spirit in them to gather together, in the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right, and that's where they're gonna battle. It says, for lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. And they are. All right, you hear these news, the news and stuff reporting these articles, coming out about Esau's wickedness, and how they about the past and things like that, dealing with our captivity. All right, stuff, information that never really been put out there, is coming out. Okay, you're hearing all kinds of stuff out here. You're hearing, you even got Sloppy Joe, your president. All right, pretty much falling asleep and pretty much telling his plans, from his other what do you call it? Um, I guess denominators. You like your senators and stuff of that nature. They're pretty much exposing, all right, the plans that Esau Edom, is pretty much doing. Okay, so that's what's happened. So they being despised. These other nations despise, Esau Edom. Okay, everybody despises them. It says, verse 16, thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. And that's where Esau dwelt. You know what? Mount Seir. All right. What do they call that? The Caucasus Mountains. You can look that up. That's where they lived, in the mountains. It says that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle. And we already know that Esau Edom symbol is the eagle. It's on your dollar bill. All right. It's on your I think their coat of arms in certain denominations or whatever. But anyway, it says, I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord. Also Edom shall be a desolation. Every one that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. Okay? So you can clearly see this is dealing with the nuclear destruction. Okay? So it says that Edom shall be a desolation. And people gonna look and be, pretty much surprised that it went down, man. It says, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities thereof, saith the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. So it's gonna be like Sodom and Gomorrah, and we all know that it went down by what? Fire and brimstone. All right, what did it do? It came down from the sky and it destroyed them. Okay, so this is coming with the nuclear destruction, the missiles. So it's gonna be basically the same way, but a lot more destructive, the worst, destruction. Okay, not even to be compared to the others when the Lord, destroyed, the kingdoms. All right, so reading on, verse 19, behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan against the habitation of the strong, but I will suddenly make him run away from her. And who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her? For who is like me, and who will appoint me the time? And who is that shepherd that will stand before me? Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purpose that he hath proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. All right, see? So there you go, man. So the Lord has proposed it. That Esau Edom is going to be destroyed, man. And they can't stop it. All right, so it says, the earth is moved at the noise of their fall, at the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle, and spread his wings over Basra. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pangs. All right, so Esau, Edom, they're gonna be like women. You know how a woman is, man. Screaming in anguish and pain. Confused. All right, weak. All right, so let's get Obadiah and Apocrypha. So yeah, this war is coming, man. It's spoken of in the scriptures, man. World War III will come to pass, man. The Lord said it. Whoops. Wrong one. Got confused again. Get that out of there. And it's down here. Alright, so this is Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? And how are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. You see? So these allies, or what you call NATO, is going to turn on Esau Edom. All right? And they're going to turn on them. And so it says, the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. All right? So yeah, they're going to win. They're going to destroy America, man. And it says that they eat thy bread, have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. It says, shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom? So yeah, you seeing that. All right, their witchcraft, their trickery is not as powerful as it was, back in the days, man. All right, they're weakening. The Lord is destroying them, destroying their wisdom. He's taking that away. So all right, so it's being searched out. All right, and that's in everything, man. The music, and the TV, and all that stuff, man. It's getting weak, man. Everything's exposed. It's out here. It's not as hidden as it used to be. All right, so it says, and thy mighty men, O T men, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount Esau may be cut off by slaughter. All right, so the Lord's going to destroy them. Slaughter. All right, so they're going to be cut off by slaughter. Ultimately, after they served 1,000 years in captivity, then they're going to be, all of them, every last one of them is going to be, utterly, wiped away and be destroyed. They ain't going to exist no more. Okay. And why is he doing this? Why? Verse 10, it says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, all right, which is the Israelites, all right, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, all right, they come out of Jacob. It says, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. All right, and that's why. Okay, so we will get two more, and then we'll leave it off at that. All right, so this is Revelations chapter 6, and start at verse 12. It says, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. All right, and that's those missiles. That's what's going to happen. The earth is going to shake. All right, the scriptures say that the earth shall shake like move to and fro like a drunkard. Paraphrasing. And it says, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth. Okay, so that's what John saw in his vision. He called them stars. All right, because back then they didn't know the technology. They didn't have the wording for it. All right, they described it as best as they could, and he described them as stars. And when you look up the nuclear missiles, you can look it up on your phone or whatever you got. You look it up, nuclear missile being shot off or whatever. You put that in the search bar, and you'll see that it literally looks like a star, man. You wouldn't be able to tell it was a missile. It looks like a star. All right, so that's how John described it. So it says, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. All right, what else can do that, man? All right, nothing else can do that but the missiles, man. Because once the missiles hit a foundation, and it blows up, what comes before the blast of fire is that shock wave. That's that mighty wind. That's how powerful it is, and it could break your bones and knock you off your feet. I watched a video, I believe this was like 2 to 3 years ago, of how it was these guys that was testing a nuclear missile. All right, and what happened was before they shut it off, they got at a certain distance, and they were in the sea. They was testing it in the water. Okay, so they stood off far from a distance and they shot it off. And once it blew up, apparently they weren't far enough. And guess what happened? That mighty wind it knocked them over. All right, it broke their bones. Okay, some men suffer from radiation. All right, they couldn't have kids. And many other effects. Some of them actually died, man. All right, so that mighty wind can break your bones from the shock wave alone. All right, so this is gonna be a terrible destruction that the Lord is bringing, man. But that's the indignation of the Lord, man. All right. So anyway, it says, and the heavens departed as a scroll. You see that? A scroll. That's what you see when the missiles hit. They call it the mushroom cloud. All right, and you see that spread of smoke come out, and it's literally like rolling up, like as a scroll, man. And it says the scroll, when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Yeah, man, that's how bad it's gonna be. That's how powerful that is. This blast is gonna be. It says, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. And that's those bunkers, man. Them underground bunkers. That's where Esau's gonna be hiding, man. You know, them elites. All right, that's what they plan on doing, going underground. But the Lord, you know, is gonna have His men, you know, grab them out from the ground. All right, because we're gonna have that spiritual power. All right, we're gonna get in and dig them up and put them in captivity, put them in chains, man. All right, they ain't gonna be able to escape from judgment, man. All right, so it says, and said to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne. All right, and that's Yahweh Shai. It says, and from the wrath of the Lamb. All right, well, Yahweh, and then from the wrath of the Lamb, which is Yahweh Shai. All right, so Yahweh Bashim Shai, man, trying to hide, man. It says, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? All right. You see, so they're gonna hide in them underground bunkers, man. That's what they're gonna be trying to do, man. But they ain't gonna do nothing, man. The men of the Lord gonna grab their ass up, and grab their ass out, man, and throw them in chains. All right. It says, this is Revelations chapter 7, verse 1. It says, and after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor the sea, nor on any tree. All right, so the angels are holding back the destruction, man. You see, and all right, so that's what they're doing. They're holding back the destruction to a certain time period. All right, when the Lord say, you know, it's time, then that's it. All right, so verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. So yeah, man, these angels, you know, they have jobs, man. All right, they can come in and put demons on you. All right, they can make you think a certain way. They can make you do certain things that you wouldn't normally do. All right, that's how the Lord can do that, man. All right. The Lord can do that. He uses angels to come out and do that. All right, so verse 3, it says, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. All right, and this is talking about the elect, you know, to sealing the elect. All right, so once that's done, then, you know, the Lord's going to bring that in that nuclear destruction. You know, of course, we got the other prophecies, like you got the MOTB, the Mark of the Beast, or AKA the Charagma. All right, you got that going on. You know, they're trying to get this digital system in. All right, you got Jacob's trouble. You know, ultimately, you know, those few things. You know, with the troops. All right, all those things and stuff like that before, you know, the World War III kickoff. So, yeah, man. So it's evident. It's very evident in the scriptures, man, that World War III is definitely here, man. It's coming. It's coming. All right, let's look at comment section for a bit. Now everybody trying to be, you know, now everybody talking about God, this, God, that. You know, literally, that would. These people, man, bunch of hypocrites, man. First they do all their wickedness, man. You know, do whatever the hell they want to do. Then every time something bad happens, they're crying out for the Lord. You know, bunch of hypocrites and bunch of phonies. That's these people in the comment section. You know, but anyway, that's pretty much it, man. I hope this was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Lord willing, is edifying unto the elect. Shalom.